Jordan, appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for the contribution, sir. Tanner McAllister made the comment that the defense under Knowles is going to be very aggressive. Who on the defense can benefit the most from that style of play? I think very highly of Cam Brown. Anybody want to jump on that one? I know Tony's highly complimentary of Cam Brown.
Well, I think the answer is everybody. Everybody on defense is going to benefit from it. And you look at the number of tackles for loss that this defense produces. Your linebackers are going to be the beneficiaries. Your defensive linemen, your defensive ends are going to be the beneficiaries because they play a more attacking defense. And so, I mean, you've got guys now that are going to be putting up the best numbers they've ever put up next year, and that's Zach Harrison, and who knows what Tyler Friday is going to be able to do. But Jack Sawyer and JT Tuimoloau are going to be there. Who knows? Like Steel Chambers, and is it Tommy Eichenberg? Is it Cody Simon? They've got, as Steve and Kevin have said, they've got so many linebackers right now for about 2 spots. So there's going to be some difficulties there. But I think the overall answer is everybody is going to benefit from this, and the corners as well, who are going to have opportunities for some throws under duress more so than they've seen over the past few years. And I think this helps the safeties for the very same reason. So I think it helps the entire back 7, back 8. And then it's also going to make the defensive ends statistically flashier.
Well, when Jim Knowles goes out there and calls cover 0 and they send the house, I mean, that's going to help everybody with that aggressive style. I mean, you better get there.
Mm-hmm.
But, I think we certainly have seen a team through the last couple of years that has been much more stingy with its pressures. And I think that with that, we've certainly seen the defensive production from the line go down in terms of its ability to get in there and get to the quarterback. So I think that if you're having a more aggressive style, you're sending some kitchen sink blitzes, you're not afraid to change some things up, and you're not pre-rotating as much. You're not showing your hand. I think that everybody's going to benefit. I don't, it's not necessarily going to be this guy versus that guy versus this other guy. I think everybody's going to get a chance to eat.
Yeah, I look at Ronnie Hickman as a guy who had a great year this past year who could flourish in this defense. Maybe Steel Chambers as well. The defensive ends, as these guys have put it up. I'm curious. I want to see how it all looks when it comes together, and reserve judgment, I guess, until we see it in action to know one way or the other what we're looking at. But I think you got to be very encouraged by everything you've heard, because the scheme is going to make sense, and it's proven that it works. So at Oklahoma State, so I'm very encouraged by what I've seen and heard so far.
One of the things McAllister said is they want to be. It may have been him or it may have been Jim Knowles, like being an offensive coordinator for the defense. Like they want to create reactions from an offense. They don't want to be the ones to react. They want to force the issue with offenses, and they want to be the aggressor. So you got to dial up a lot of stuff. And, when you do that, something's going to happen one way or the other. So, it should make for an exciting football game. Ohio State should win more of those whatevers than they lose, though.
This might be a simplistic way to look at it, but when you've got the best offense in the country and you've got athletes on defense, even if they haven't figured it out and you haven't figured it out, but you've got tremendous athletes on defense, you've got a top 10 defense athletically, according to rankings, even though it hasn't been recruited to the level of the offense. If you play a defense that's passive, that bleeds the clock for the opposing offense, you're keeping your offense off the field. You may be giving up touchdown drives anyway, but they're 13-play touchdown drives, or you may, force a mistake, or they may just unforced errors. You get off the field. Okay. But if you play aggressive, sure, you get burned over the course of a game 3 times, 6 times, whatever, but do you get force bad throws because of pressure? Do you force mistakes? And do you maybe get a couple turnovers that you don't get? And yes, the stats book may not look great. You may look foolish on 3 to 4 plays a game, but maybe you allow your athletes to get there and to make things happen. And you can rely on an offense that's going to score 45 points and you win 45 to 30 games against good opponents. I don't know.